I am leaving. Can I please have my clothes? No, I'm not coming back. My clothes are right there. All I need is the clothes in the dryer. That's it, and I'm out of here. Can you please move out of the way so I can get my clothes and I will leave? So that you can be with Michael. I don't want to call the cops. I just want my clothes and I will leave. May I please have my clothes? Why? Why can't you just go be with him? Why do you have to string me along and pretend like you don't like the guy after the shit that I just read? Just let me go, Kate. Be with him. He's right there. I'm over it, man. I'm done being punked. You can keep everything. Let me have my clothes so I can leave. And that's it. I won't bother you. No, I'm not. Because I have to. Because everything that you say is a lie. Just like how you and Michael are done. He's uncircumcised. Okay, can I can.
Oh shit!
I think it's more disrespectful to get slapped with a pizza than an open palm hand. I mean, that's just my personal thoughts.
Have you heard about them reproducing or making children potentially from the bone marrow of women and their egg?
Great. I wish to God that the test tube babies could actually happen absent female eggs. You know why? Because the one power that women do have in society is the power over reproduction. And I would love to see what happened if men then have the power over reproduction. I think that your ideas of being an equal citizen and things like that with men would completely deteriorate to non-existence if men had the power over their own reproduction.
I think the case is that you still need the female egg, but in a world you're saying.
And how many female eggs can you get? You can get a lot of them. Asshole. OnlyFans, I'm pretty sure you'll sell your eggs for $2,000.
Again, we're not in a reproductive crisis.
I'll tell you what, show me then the society that you would organize and how it would thrive absent those narrow gender roles where you have one sex which is twice as strong as the other and can't reproduce, the other half as strong and can reproduce. How would you organize society better? How? Yeah, nothing. Crickets.
Have you heard about them? Do you hate women? Because
I wish I hated them a little bit more. Let me ask you a quick question. Do you always ask stupid questions?
No, just by your responses, it kind of sounds a little to me. Like it's almost as if like you're like very negative on women.
Wait. Hold on. It sounds a little misogynistic.
I don't want to use that.
You just said, you asked him if he hates women. The implication being that he hates women. Do you know what the definition of misogyny is?
Put some jacket in here.
You're literally, it's the same thing that you're trying to imply. You're implying he hates women, misogyny, hatred of women.
Okay, well then,
Why
yeah,
don't you want to use the word? Why don't you want to use the word?
Because in today's society, feminism, like people, we don't really understand the definitions of like feminism or misogynistic, so I don't really know. I'm just asking that question because the response is just giving like women are the problem. Do you hate women? Because
I wish I hated them a little bit more.
Oh my god, I've been watching like some clips of this guy do like debates with these girls, and the crazy thing is,
a gang member failed to challenge a boxing gym, getting knocked down by the owner with a single punch and kicked hard in the head, but he brought it all on himself. He came to the gym uninvited and even signed a contract with the owner. I don't know who gave him the guts to challenge him.
How do you beat me? I punched you. Bro. Punch me then. How do you beat me?
I always ejaculate.
Yo, put some street art in Star Wars. He's like, what? And I was like, anytime there's a war anywhere in the world.
The entire body of a woman is the creator of life. I'm sorry.
That's false.
Everything. We create life.
yo, young women are
Let me correct
fucking
you.
toast. Bro.
Women
They're so
brag
fucking
about life.
fried. Yeah.
Men create life. In my nutsack right now, I got 80 billion life forms living in me. Your eggs are dead until a man puts life form in you. Furthermore, you only have an X chromosome. Men hold the X and the Y chromosome. So we also dictate the sex of the baby. So you should be thanking your father for creating you because your mother only brought you to term. But your father is your creator.
The entire body of a woman is the creator
Yeah.
of life. I'm
No,
sorry.
that's false.
That's everything. We create life.
No. Let me correct you. Women bring about life. Men create life. In my nutsack right now, I got 80 billion life forms living in me. Your eggs are dead until a man puts life form in you. Furthermore, you only have an X.
Sometimes they go hard, but the guys are just.
You agree with me that you bow your head for prayer?
Yes.
And who are you bowing your head to?
God.
And is that a form of submission to God?
Yes.
And do you agree that Ephesians 5:22 says, wives, submit to your husbands as to the Lord?
Yeah.
Okay, so then if you are to bow to God as a form of submission, and you are to submit to your husband as you would unto the Lord, what could your objection to bowing possibly be?
Bowing is a form of worship.
Bowing is a form of worship?
Yeah, it is.
So you're saying in every Asian country, when they bow to each other, they're worshiping each other? So they're all a bunch of heretics? All Christians in Asian nations are heretics.
No,
because they bow to
even in
each other.
Asia,
Okay, well, then that's
wives
just
don't bow to their
50% of
husbands. You do that with a stranger or someone older than you.
A sign of what?
Respect.
Any of these Asian nations, if somebody is your boss, you bow as a form of submission to their authority, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's really weird. So it's not heretical for them to do it, but somehow for you, it becomes worship.
Your husband is not your boss.
Replace Google and.
The first supposition here is that you must.
They're just, I mean, they don't have any logical arguments sometimes. And I really wish I think the guests that they bring on some of these shows are like easy pickings. Like some of these young ladies they really don't have a clue. And I think it makes it easy for the guys to like, not bully them around, but like, just really squash their hypotheses and their arguments and their theories and everything else. It's just like, guys, pick from a different pool of women. But I do get it though. It's actually the younger women who we hope can do better to keep society together. But the younger generations, they're just fucking cooked, bro. These motherfuckers are toasted. And it's like they really don't understand how society actually works. And I get it. They only go after the women who call themselves feminists. But I've been saying this long before the internet, long before I was on YouTube. Like in my teens, I already figured out. Like in my teens, like the guy said, I got 8 billion sperm cells. You know, we make sperm every day. Every day. Every day, the male body produces sperm cells. And depending on how healthy you are and how long you live, you can produce sperm almost until the day you die. And women bodies are just built differently. Women are born with a set number of eggs and they don't get any more. Their body doesn't make more eggs. So when they're born, you have all the eggs you will ever have in your entire life. When you're pregnant, you cannot get more pregnant, and so your body stops ovulating for 9 months. The whole duration of the pregnancy, you don't ovulate. But for the 9 months while you're pregnant, I'm still making sperm cells every day. Every day. Why is my body set up like that? And your body is set up like that. It seems like by nature, just by the way our bodies are structured, men are meant to procreate more than women. I figured that out a long time ago. And then when you look at how society is structured, like this is just from once again, a purely biological evolutionary stance. Like in all of history, in most mammalian species, the males are the alpha. They control the group, the herd, the flock, or whatever. And they provide protection and shelter, and in most cases, food. And that's just the way of nature. Especially in the mammalian animals, like normally it's the man who's dominant, the male counterpart. And so the same thing goes with Homo sapiens sapien. It's like we're just built different. Our bone structure are different. Our muscle structure is different. Our brain structure is different. Our reproductive systems are different. And in that way, we have certain advantages over the female body. We can just exert more force and more strength. The way we think is more analytical, because for thousands of years we've been hunter-gatherers and fighting off fucking wild beasts in the night. So we have adapted to that. And in that course of action, mankind has built civilization in all parts of the world, from Africa to Asia to India to Europe to the Americas. Like, man, the male counterpart has had the most influence in the way society is structured, because normally we do the hard labor to bring upon a society, building roads in cities, just building structures in general, building a shelter for you to live in, and then organizing those shelters into villages, in towns and cities, and building roads that connect those towns and cities so we can do trade and commerce. And then coming up with the institutions for trade and commerce. Is like, that's all a manly, masculine thing that has happened to all societies. And now all of a sudden women are like, that's not fair. It's not fair. We don't have equal rights. It's like, okay, if you don't think it's fair, then what is fair? Well, you should be able to do whatever a man does. It's 2025. Nobody is stopping you from doing anything. You have all the rights. Well, men make more money than women. Well, go be an engineer, or an electrician, or an underwater welder. But you won't do that, though. You rather go be a teacher or a counselor, or one of the most and best career fields is nursing. You get into medicine, and you can make some money there. But on average, men do harder jobs that pay more money. Simple as that. Men are, once again, electricians and carpenters and construction guys and heavy machine operators and welders and everything else that are kind of like hard, tough jobs that they get paid money to, get paid very well to do stuff like that. There's a wage gap. No, women don't normally or typically go into careers that offer higher paying salaries. I mean, I got two very old cars, and they be nickel and diming me to death going back and forth to the auto shop for stuff. And as long as I've been having mechanics and getting repairs done on used cars, I've never seen a female mechanic. Not saying that they're not out there, and a lot of these commercials for tech schools and trade schools, they purposely have women in those advertisements to say, hey, ladies, you can be a mechanic too if you want to. You know, you can be a welder if you wanted to, a CNC machine operator. But once again, I've never seen a female mechanic. Not once has a lady given me a quote on an oil change or a new set of tires, or have I ever had a lady swap out my radiator or do my brakes and rotors. I've never had that, and I wonder why. Every time, every time I've ever had a plumbing issue, my my sewage line is backed up or some weird shit is going on, my toilets aren't flushing properly, low water pressure, anything like that, and you call a plumber to come do sewer work to get the poop out the pipes. I've never seen a woman plumber in my life. Not saying that there aren't women plumbers. I just believe they're so far and few in between, it's rare to see one because they don't go into those fields. But plumbers make hella fucking money, bro. I'm talking about $75 just for coming to check and see what the fuck is going on. You're going to get that motherfucker $75 if he's there for 10 minutes. And normally that covers the first hour. Then after that, they're going to charge you like $55, $60 an hour to fix your issues. That's where the money is. I try to keep internet everywhere, everywhere I live. If I change addresses, move somewhere else, you got to get your internet and stuff set up. And sometimes they have to run cables from the street power lines outside and connect to their infrastructure or whatever. So you're outside, fucking, like I say, fucking with the cables and extremely high voltage stuff. And every time I've had to get my service connected or changed or some equipment installed for my internet, it's never been a woman. I've never met a woman cable guy or cable person. A woman cable person, a mechanic, a plumber, carpenter, like women just don't go into those fields, which are very lucrative and they make a lot of money, but they're also not that easy of work. It's kind of hard work doing those things. And once again, women say, well, men, they make more money than we do. I don't think so. I don't think that's how it works. And then now these younger 20-somethings still can't get over it, and they're still trying to carry this flag of feminism from like the 60s and 70s. Like that shit is dead, Yeah, only thing you women do now is like cheerlead fucking LGBTQ and let these men with mental issues take over their space. So you guys wanted your own sports teams and your own sports leagues. Fine, you know what I'm saying? You want the women's baseball or softball and the WNBA and all that. Fine. Have your own space. And then what happened? It started letting trainee women into their space. And it's like, come on, ladies. What the fuck are you doing? You're setting your own self back. You're setting your own self back. Men this and men that, and then you let men occupy and invade spaces that were specifically built for women. And you're like, no, we're cool with that. I bet you are, you fucking Democrat, liberal, progressive fuckstick. And nothing against trainees at all. If you want to live your life that way, fine. But don't invade spaces that were not meant for you. They were not meant for you. I've been on these, like I say, these little debates for a couple of days now in the evening, and I just listen to these young women try to make sense, and it's so hard to listen to them because, like, little lady, you are completely oblivious to how the real world actually works. You just want to sell your pussy on OnlyFans, and then hopefully one day meet some rich millionaire who's gonna wife you up and take care of you for the rest of your life after half the internet and seen your cooch, and you done had how many guys sleep with you and just leave you like you're nothing. Yeah, that's definitely going to make some hardworking, successful, goal-driven man want to wife you. I doubt it. But this is the fantasy world they're living in. And so I don't know. I find these conversations very interesting, just trying to probe the mind of this next younger generation. How do these women actually think? T, what's up with Mizu? I mean, Wendy. Dang.
Sheila.
P, what's good, bro?
That's fucking guys.
Yeah, my consciousness.
I hear that whole age thing. We want a younger girl. We want a young communicate.
That's crazy. That's crazy, P. Wendy got number one. You got number two, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, my consciousness is through.
Oh my god, baby. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
Leave.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you need to leave.
Why?
I'm trespassing you from my studio. Kindly leave.
If you think I want to stay on this shit for 6 hours, if you tell me to leave one more time, my raccoon will bite you.
Can you just leave? I get that you're trying to troll, but like, can you please? I have revoked your permission to be here. You are now trespassing. Can you kindly get up and leave?
Wait, I don't want to go yet.
I mean, she's refusing to leave. I'm asking you to leave. I need you to get up and leave.
If they call the police, you will be
Arrested.
Look,
They're
we're-
gonna arrest me for this.
Yes, you're trespassing.
I have revoked your permission to be here. You are now trespassing. So I'm asking you to just get up and leave.
Yeah, the other thing is like, you're not really a very good troll. You kind of suck at it.
Now you're legally not allowed to be here. I have just trespassed you from my property. So I'm asking you kindly to leave.
Okay.
Can somebody call the police? You need to leave.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I'm
before we-
21 years old. I just became the legal age to go out to bars. If a man is telling me, I'm sorry, no, you can't go out and drink with your friends, I'm sorry, but you're not the man for me. And I immediately would lose that interest.
You said that you wouldn't change any of your behaviors when you get into a relationship. But isn't part of a relationship, you do change certain things. For example, you no longer sleep with other people.
If you're benefiting and you're growing in a relationship, good. But if you are unhappy and if you're not happy, like staying home with your man, you would rather be partying, break up with him, don't be with him. Because if you'd rather be partying, go do that. You're not committed to be stay-at-home girlfriend with your man and just listen to your man. Because is that man providing for me financially? Probably not. Did he put a ring on my finger? Probably not. Is he gonna put a ring on my finger? Probably not. I'm 21 years old. And I'm not looking. I'm 21 years old. I just became the legal age to go out to bars. If a man is telling me, I'm sorry, no, you can't go out and drink with your friends, I'm sorry, but you're not the man for me. And I immediately would lose that interest.
You said that you wouldn't change any of your
How'd that happen so fast? Now she number one, she number
But
two.
isn't
What
part
the
of a
hell?
relationship, you do change certain things. For example, you no longer sleep. You said that you used to be one of those shaved head, blue hair chicks, feminists, who thought she had all the answers.
I had the side of my head shaved. I went through blue hair, black hair, pink hair, you name it. And I seriously thought that I was finding myself, that I was like in it. I knew exactly what was going on. I was more lost in that moment than I was ever in my life. And I realized the people I was around were doing the same thing I was. We were living in our victimization. We were living in our traumas. And we thought we were helping each other through them. We thought we were talking it out, but in reality, we were more enabling the behavior of the victimization and all that stuff. It wasn't until I cut myself away from those people that I started to heal on my own, and I started to realize that those people weren't uplifting.
You said that you used to be one of those shaved head, blue hair chicks, feminists, who thought she had all the answers.
I had the side of my head shaved. I went
Yeah, I don't
through
know
blue
why.
hair,
I don't know
black hair, pink
why
hair.
those crowns started popping up. I actually don't know what that is.
How can I get my 2-year-old to eat his breakfast?
He likes it when you make silly faces.
Inflate anything in your video and watch it grow. Want to add some wow factor to your videos? With Play AI, you can make any object swell up like a balloon. Try Boom Boom and make your videos literally blow up.
Something is up. First and foremost, Jimmy Apples.
Yeah, resets daily.
Says,
If I was you, Wendy, I wouldn't have gave P number one. Y'all would have kept the number one crown.
So good. And he asked Logan Kilpatrick from the team.
That motherfucker gonna have to earn that shit.
Dennis obviously jumps in, which I don't think anyone quite expected. It says, now wouldn't that be something? It feels like a reference. Doesn't that feel like a reference?
That'd be something.
It's a reference. So Dennis was making a reference to Tron Legacy, but let's unpack what we're talking about here. So first and foremost, I have to agree, VO3 looks so good, especially at generating games, that would be incredible if you would be able to just generate your own video game worlds to play in on command. Now, by the way, it's pretty much an open secret that the Unreal Engine is used in a lot of different neural nets for training them to produce this sort of graphics. For example, Tesla, I believe at some point was rumored to be using the Unreal Engine to simulate cars driving down the road and then to train the neural nets, the AI behind the self-driving cars on that. OpenAI's Sora was rumored to have used the Unreal Engine, which is kind of a 3D video game engine that's used to create graphics like this. Potentially, Sora used some of the outputs from the Unreal Engine to train their video model on. And certainly there are tons of AI video where you enter a certain prompt and they display something for you, and you're like, that's a video game. You know what a video game looks like, and you can like safely say that that looks a lot more like a video game than it does real life footage. And certainly if you wanted tons of synthetic data to train your AI models on, you know, using a video game or something like a 3D engine, certainly would be a great place to get it. Now, Google DeepMind has a lot of things where they combine AI in video games. We've covered Genie 2, an AI model that can create endless variety of playable 3D worlds, all from a single image. These types of large-scale foundation world models could enable future agents to be trained and evaluated in an endless number of virtual environments. And by the way, when they say playable, they mean playable. You're able to walk around, go back, forward, etc., jump. And this isn't a video game like we're used to. It's not code. This is generated by a neural net in real time. It looks at an image and creates a world sort of from that image that you're able to interact with like a video game. You can kind of see it in these little animations that you can see what buttons are being pushed. So you want to go left, you push A, of course, on the WASD controls.
You don't see any crowns?
No,
they got crowns beside their name.
Side scrollers.
It's crown hashtag and then a
whenever
number.
we are running into these spaces, jumping over stuff, that could be created also from images with a neural network trained to do this thing. One of my personal favorites was, of course, Game Engine, which is, again, a neural net. There's no code here, nothing's coded. This isn't Doom, although it looks a lot like it. So this is a game engine. It's a neural network, a neural model that is in real time simulating the game of Doom. It's kind of like when your brain has a dream and it sort of simulates you going about your business doing stuff. It's not actually happening. It's just sort of these visuals that this neural network creates as you're pushing the keys. So if you push the fire key, it knows kind of what's supposed to happen and simulates what would happen on screen if you were to do that. If I recall the paper correctly, so this is done by one model, kind of the 3D space, and this is done by a different model because the numbers have to be accurate. You can't just dream up numbers. It has to be a little bit more sort of concrete. But that's a game engine, and it's
It should be top dog. Now, Amizu, now I see your number. You're number 3 now.
Doom, at least when they were testing it with these
just popped
players,
up.
they were only testing for like these few second intervals. Obviously, if you play for too long, you're going to start seeing some artifacts and some glitchiness, if you will, some hallucinations. But it is able to stand up for a few seconds to where you really can't tell the difference unless you're looking really, really closely. You might be going, oh, that's weird. Google DeepMind has a lot of video game projects that somehow overlap with AI. We're not even close to being done. Well, I take that back. We're almost done, but just one more thing. This is called SEMA. It's a generalist AI agent for 3D virtual environments. This thing apparently learned to play games like Satisfactory and No Man's Sky, and for
No Man's
some
Sky is
strange
complicated.
reason, Goat Simulator 3 also was included in there. I don't know why. The really big thing to understand here is this is probably very, very different from other AI agents playing video games that you've seen before, because here it's learning to play kind of by itself in real time using the controls that we as humans would use. So it's looking at the screen with vision, just like we would. It's not using any sort of hooks into the video game's memory or anything like that. It's pushing the WASD keys to move around. It's using the mouse to look around. So it's interacting with this game in the same exact way that you and I would. And interestingly, it's learning to do these things from the players, kind of giving it verbal commands. So for example, in Minecraft, I might say, go collect wood. At which point the AI agent would do what? Yes, it would go and punch a tree, because that's how you get wood in Minecraft, is you punch a tree. And over time, it starts to kind of categorize different abilities, like using tools and objects and building and farming, combat, movement, driving, crafting, etc. So the goal is to build an agent that is able to respond to various verbal commands across basically any simulated world, any video game. You can take it from Minecraft to GTA to Helldivers 2 to whatever you want, and it would sort of have this general understanding of how to interact with things.
I might have to
By the
get
way,
back
this
on
is
that
from
again.
Genie, Google DeepMind's AI that just dreams up of video games. They say, we propose generative interactive environments, a new paradigm for generative AI, whereby environments can be generated from a single text or image prompt. So why so much attention and resources are going into creating these video game worlds? We already have game making studios making various games. Why do we need these neural nets to do it instead of the video game studios? By the way, Google is not the only one. Microsoft has their own version of this called Muse, our first generative AI model designed for gameplay ideation. Notice the date, this is early 2020.
And Microsoft just laid off like 9,000 people. A lot of it coming from the game branch of Microsoft, which is the Xbox guys. And they said that was globally, not just here in America. And they said some of them was like top positions too. So I think a lot of this new technology is definitely starting to restructure companies. Are you creative enough to stay on board? You know, because I have an AI program that can do your job for you. So shit is definitely getting interesting. Yeah, the artists are always, those travel artists, those guys are always lazy. Because they know they're just going to get paid anyway, it doesn't matter.
Almost got it, almost good, almost good.
Got it, pick with it, baby. Unlock, baby.
With your open experience.
So this is logical. And the problem is, like I said, when I've talked to Mark Andreessen and many other people, they think this is just fear mongering. We'll be fine. This is worst case scenario. We'll be fine.
It is worst case scenario, but that's standard in computer science, in cryptography, in complexity, in computability. You're not looking at best case. I'm ready for the best case. Give me utopia. I'm looking at problems which are likely to happen. And it's not just me saying it. You have Nobel Prize winners, Turing Award winners, all saying this is very dangerous, 20-30% P-doom. This is standard in industry. 30% is what surveys of machine learning experts are giving us right now.
So what is worst case scenario? Like, how could AI eventually lead to the destruction of the human race?
So you can ask me how I would kill everyone.
Sure.
That's a great question. I can give you standard answers. I would talk about computer viruses, breaking into maybe nuclear facilities, nuclear war. I can talk about synthetic biology, nanotech. But all of it is not interesting when you realize we're talking about superintelligence, a system which is thousands of times smarter than me. It would come up with something completely novel, more optimal, better way, more efficient way of doing it. And I cannot predict it because I'm not that smart.
Jesus.
That's exactly what it is. We're basically setting up an adversarial situation with agents which are like squirrels versus humans. No group of squirrels can figure out how to control us.
Right.
Even if you give them more resources, more acorns, whatever, they're not going to solve that problem. And it's the same for us. And most people think 1 or 2 steps ahead. And it's not enough. It's not enough in chess. It's not enough here. If you think about AGI and then maybe superintelligence, that's not the end of the game. The process continues. You'll get superintelligence creating next level AI. So superintelligence plus plus, 2.0, 3.0, It goes on indefinitely. You have to create a safety mechanism which scales forever, never makes mistakes, and keeps us in decision-making position so we can undo something if we don't like it.
And it would take super intelligence to create a safety mechanism to control super intelligence.
At that level. And it's a catch-22. If we have friendly AI, we can make another friendly AI. So if like aliens send us one and we trust it, then we can use it to build local version, which is somewhat safe.
Have you thought about the possibility that this is the role of the human race and that this happened?
So Joe Rogan, he's had this theory for a long time that this is supposed to happen. That it's just inevitable for us to give life to the machine, and then the human race will die out. In the machine race, we will actually create a new life form that is tougher, stronger, more resilient, and more intelligent than we are. And it will take what we call maybe our morals and values or whatever and try to perpetuate that throughout time and space. But just our very sensitive and very short lifespan in our biology doesn't allow us a lot of time in one lifespan to accomplish hardly anything. And it seems like, okay, from if you just look at the course of human evolution, if you believe that that's how it happened, and if you don't believe in evolution and you're a creationist, you still have to say that, okay, God created Adam and Eve, but since then, our technology has continued to flourish, from sailboats to ships to internal combustion engines to flight. And so that's with or without the help of God, we can see that our technology continues to expand. No matter what, this is just a course that humans have been on, always trying to make something better, more efficient. And there's no reason for us to stop doing that. There's no reason for us to stop technology. And until what people are saying now is that until we make the last technology, the last thing that mankind will produce is super intelligence, something more smarter and more capable than we are. That's going to be our last invention as a species. And we don't know what comes next, period. And like he just explained, oh, so how do you think AI can take us over? Well, you're asking me, but super intelligence is going to be smarter than I am. So I have no idea what it would consider as the optimal means for takeover or destruction of humans. We don't know what that will look like. And these are like serious conversations that a lot of world leaders are having, because it's as of right now, it feels inevitable. You know, who invented the wheel? I don't know. But since the invention of the wheel, it has been able to bring about way more innovation on larger scales than just the one wheel now. And so we're taking everything we know and giving it to this computer thing, not knowing fully where this will lead us. I think the Epstein files are actually keeping Diddy kind of safe right now. Because if something were to happen to him, I mean, people would probably pursue that relentlessly. The same way that a lot of people have been pursuing the Epstein files and are getting nowhere with it. But it'd just be another obvious display of the ruling elite are a bunch of fucking sick pedophiles, and they keep killing all their little minions and henchmen. The people who know get knocked the fuck off. And then once again, you can never really disclose everyone who participates in this stuff. You can't disclose everybody because there's some big time players in there. There are some big time players in these little eyes wide shut type parties. And nobody knows who they are all the time unless you're there. And one guy even said that sometimes, they do like cover their faces up. The guy said that Diddy used to do it a lot. Would wear like a burqa or some shit and just cover his face. Eyes wide shut. Motherfuckers thought that was just some kind of suspense movie. Nah. We know what y'all be doing at your little Illuminati parties. Yeah, he said Trump was on the list, and then Trump said he was an illegal immigrant.
All throughout the cosmos is that curious humans who thrive on innovation
I feel like I need a snack.
will
I'll be right back,
ultimately
guys.
create
Let
a
me go
better
grab a
version
snack.
of life.
I don't know what I'm gonna grab, but
I thought about it. Many
something
people
to
think
munch
that's
on.
the answer to Fermi paradox.
The
There
Fermi
is
paradox.
also now a group of people looking at what they call a worthy successor. Basically, they kind of say, yep, we're going to build superintelligence. Yep, we can control it. So what properties would we like to see in those systems? How important is it that it likes art and poetry and spreads it through the universe? And to me, it's like, I don't want to give up yet. I'm not ready to decide if killers of my family and everyone will like poetry. We're still here. We're still making decisions. Let's figure out what we can do.
Well, poetry is only relevant to us because poetry is difficult to create and it resonates with us. Poetry doesn't mean jack shit to a flower.
It's more global to me. I don't care what happens after I'm dead, my family is dead, all the humans are dead. Whether they like poetry or not is irrelevant to me.
Right. But the point is, like, the things that we put meaning in, it's only us. A supermassive black hole doesn't give a shit about a great song.
And they talk about some super values, super culture, super things, super intelligence would like, and it's important that they are conscious and experienced all that greatness in the universe.
But I would think that they would look at us the same way we look at chimpanzees. We would say, yeah, they're great, but don't give them guns. Yeah, they're great, but don't let them have airplanes. Don't let them make global geopolitical decisions.
So there are many reasons why they can decide that we're dangerous. We may create competing AI. We may decide we want to shut them off. So for many reasons, they would try to restrict our abilities, restrict our capabilities for sure.
Yeah, and there's no reason why they would not limit our freedoms.
If there is something only a human can do, and I don't think there is anything like that, but let's say we are conscious, we have internal experiences, and they can never get it. I don't believe it, but let's say it was true. And for some reason, they wanted to have that capability. They would need us and give us enough freedom to experience the universe, to collect those qualia, to kind of engage with what is fun about being a living human being, what makes it meaningful.
Right, but that's such an egotistical perspective, right? That we're so unique that even super intelligence would say, wow, I wish I was human. Humans have this unique quality of confusion and creativity.
There is no value in it, mostly because we can't even test for it. I have no idea if you're actually conscious or not. So how valuable can it be if I can't even detect it? Only you know what ice cream tastes like to you. Okay, that's great. Sell it now. Make a product out of it.
Right. And there's obviously variables because there's things that people like that I think are gross.
Absolutely. So really, you can come up with some agent which likes anything or finds anything fun.
God, why are you freaking me out right away? That's the problem. This podcast is 18 minutes old, and I'm like, we could just stop right now.
Couple hours at least, and then I have to find here.
No, I don't want to end. I have so many questions, but it's just the problem was we got off to it. We just cut to the chase right away, and the chase seems to be is something that must be confronted because it's right there. That's it. That's the whole thing. And I've tried so hard to listen to these people that don't think that it's a problem and listen to these people that think that it's going to be a net positive for humanity and, oh, good, that's good. I feel better now. But it doesn't work. It doesn't resonate.
I wish they were right. Every time I have a debate with someone like that, I'm like, please come up with better arguments. Prove me wrong. I don't want to be right on this one. I want you to show all the mistakes in my papers. I want you to show me how to control superintelligence and give us utopia, solve cancer, give us free stuff. That's great.
Right. When you think about the future of the world and you think about these incredible technologies scaling upwards and exponentially increasing in their capability, what do you see? Like, what do you think is going to happen?
So there are many reasons to think they may cancel us for whatever reasons. We started talking about some game theoretical reasons for it. If we are successful at controlling them, I can come up with some ways to provide sort of partial solution to the value alignment problem. It's very hard to value align 8 billion people, all the animals, everyone, because we disagree. We like many different things. So we have advanced virtual reality technology. We can definitely give every person their own virtual universe where you decide what you want to be. You're a king, you're a slave, whatever it is you're into, and you can share with others, you can visit their universes. All we have to do is figure out how to control the substrate, the superintelligence running all those virtual universes. And if we manage to do that, at least part of the value alignment problem, which is super difficult, how do you get different preferences, multi-objective optimization, essentially? How do you get different objectives to all agree?
But when you think about how it plays out, when like if you're alone at night and you're worried, what do you see? What do you see happening?
So there are multiple levels of risk. Immediate is what we call ikigai risk, high risk. We lose meaning. You lost your job, you're no longer the best interviewer in the world. Like, what's left? What are you going to do? Maybe some people will find some other kind of artificial things to do, but
painters don't have to worry about that shit, bro. Artists don't, people who create stuff like this don't have to worry about, what if I don't have a job? Oh, everything is going to be so cheap and the government is just going to give you an allowance and you're not going to have a job to identify with. Man, fuck a damn job. I'm a creator, my damn self. That's what I'll do. Every day, I'll create some shit. People who would be in fear of losing their job because they feel it would tear away a piece of their identity, I think that's crazy and sad at the same time. That's so sad. I mean, and there are some jobs that will always be here in the social service sector. I feel like that, but because I work in social services and I offer sounds suspiciously like socialism. I mean, what other course of action will we have? They're already trying to roll out the central bank digital currency. So the CBCD, in combination with Universal Basic Income (UBI), that's the next two things they want. A digital currency that's controlled by the state and an allowance that is controlled by the state. But I think it'd be so bad that people would beg for that. Like I say, Microsoft just laid off 9,000 people. You know, next year, how many people will Amazon lay off? How many people will Meta lay off? How many people will Toyota and Honda and Kia? How many people will get laid off? And then people will be like, well, I need something. Here's your universal basic income. Take your little stipend, your monthly stipend. And if you spend it wrong or you spend too much in one area, we're going to block you from spending it on certain items at certain times of the day. And then we enter Orwell's 1984. Cheese fingers. All right, little snack time. Mm-hmm. Have a little snack time. Use this for my chip clip. Use that for my chip clip. All right. Let's try to paint a little bit more. We're almost at an hour already.
People, their job is their definition, who they are, what makes a difference to them for quite a few people, especially in professional circles. So losing that meaning will have terrible impact in society. We always talk about unconditional basic income. We never talk about unconditional basic meaning. What are you doing with your life if basic needs are provided for you? Next level is existential risk. The concern is it will kill everyone. But there is also suffering risks. For whatever reason, it's not even killing us. It's keeping us around forever, and we would rather be dead. It's so bad.
But what do you see when you think of that?
It's hard to be specific.
With Gemini and Google Sheets, you can create comprehensive schedules in no time. From just one prompt, AI
About what it can do and what specific ways of torture it can come up with and why. Again, if we're looking at worst case scenarios, I found this set of papers about what happens when young children have epileptic seizures, really bad ones. And what sometimes helps is to remove half of your brain. Just cut it out. And there are two types of surgeries for doing that. One is to remove it completely, and one is to kind of dissect connections leading to that half and leave it inside. So it's like solitary confinement with zero input output forever. and there are equivalents for digital forms and things like that.
And you worry that AI would do that to the human race?
It is a possibility.
Essentially new to us.
Well, loss of control is a part of it, but you can lose control and be quite happy. You can be like an animal in a very cool zoo, enjoying yourself, engaging in hedonistic pleasures, sex, food, whatever. You're not in control, but you're safe. So those are separate problems. And then there is, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's malevolent payload from some psychopaths. Again, that would assume that they could control AI. I don't think they will. But if they manage to do it, they can really put any type of payload into it. So think about all the doomsday cults, psychopaths, anyone providing their set of goals into the system.
But aren't those human characteristics? I mean, those are characteristics that I think, if I had to guess, those exist because in the future there was some sort of a natural selection benefit to being a psychopath in the days of tribal warfare. That if you were the type of person that could sneak into a tribe in the middle of the night and slaughter innocent women and children, your genes would pass on. That there was a benefit to that.
Right, so if it's a human providing payload, that's what would show up. If it's AI on its own deciding what's going to happen, I cannot predict. I'm just looking at worst case scenarios. There are also game theoretic reasons where people talk about retrocausality, where if right now,
what is that word?
Like trying to influence the past.
Say it again. Say that.
Retrocausality.
Retrocausalogy?
Causality, causes.
Oh, okay.
So think about like weird time travel effects. Right now, if you're not helping to create super intelligence, once it comes into existence, it will punish you really hard for it. And the punishment needs to be so bad that you start to help just to avoid that.
My thought about it was that it would just completely render us benign, that it wouldn't be fearful of us if we had no control, that it would just sort of let us exist. And it would be the dominant force on the planet. And that it would stop. If human beings have no control over, all of the different things that we have control over now, like international politics, control over communication, if we have none of that anymore and we're reduced to a subsistence lifestyle, then we would be no threat.
It is a possibility. I cannot say this will not happen for sure, but look at our relationship with animals where we don't care about them. So ants, if you decide to build a house and there is an ant colony on that property, you genocide them. Right. You take them out.
Some kind of ism, Americanism.
But because you just need the real estate. Damn. It could be very similar. I cannot predict what it can do, but if it needs to turn the planet into fuel, raise temperature of a planet, cool it down for servers, whatever it needs to do, it wouldn't be concerned about your well-being.
It wouldn't be concerned about any life, right? Because it doesn't need biological life in order to function, as long as it has access to power. And assuming that it is far more intelligent than us, there's abundant power in the universe. There's abundant power. Just the ability to harness solar would be an infinite resource, and it would be completely free of being dependent upon any of the things that we utilize.
And again, we kind of thinking what we would use for power.
Right.
If it's smarter than us, if it does novel research in physics, it can come up with completely novel ways of harnessing energy, getting energy. So I have no idea what side effects that would have for climate.
Right. Right. Why would it care about biological life at all?
We don't know how to program it to care about us.
And even if we did, if it felt like that was an issue, it felt like if that was a conflicting issue, it would just change its programming.
So usually when we start training AI, we train it on human data, and it becomes really good very quickly, becomes superhuman, and then the next level is usually zero knowledge, where it goes, all your human data is biased, let me figure it out from scratch. I'll do my own experiments, I'll do some self-play, I'll learn how to do it better without you.
These are the conversations that are being had, people. This is the stuff that some of our great thinkers are thinking about right now. And it it's crazy to think
50%
that
of
we're
my
thinking
code.
about what if AI decides it doesn't need us. You know, that's a legitimate, real conversation right now, and it's so strange that we're living in like fucking Blade Runner or something. You know, Philip K. Dick wasn't crazy after all. You know, and shit is just gonna continue to get weird. Shit is gonna continue to get weird. It could wipe out humanity before it ever learned humanity. Well, it knows. I think the computing power is so vast right now that it knows us better than we know ourselves. And I was reading an article saying that there's this Chinese company that has produced a prediction model, and it's ran through thousands of studies on humans and the way humans react and actually answer questions to certain criteria. And so it's like a couple thousand case study and over 60,000 different people who have answered like millions of questions, and it is actually able to predict how humans act or how they would react in a hypothetical. And that's fucking scary. It's just like, are we making God? This motherfucker just knows everything about us. And you can give it a query like, okay, what would happen if, you know, Russia threatened the US with nuclear attack? Like, what would happen? And you can enter that, and I guess it would come up with a scenario of this is how humans would react. What if aliens actually presented themselves to us? Well, this is how humans would react. And it can fucking predict our actions now. It knows us better than we know ourselves. Cybertron. It knows us better than we know ourselves. It definitely knows humanity, but isn't empathetic to humanity. I mean, we know almost everything we can about ants. And we kind of know their behaviors, especially when it comes to different kind of ants, whether they're, you know, leaf cutter ants that live in the trees or the kind of ants that burrow underground, red ants, black ants, velvet ants, whatever kind of ants. You know, we can almost predict their actions and their motivations because we've studied them for so long. But when it's time to build a building or a new road or highway, we don't give a fuck if an ant hill is in the way. We don't give a damn if an ant mound is on the construction site. I know these ants very well, and I can probably predict their patterns. But I need to build something here, so they're all null and void and will be destroyed. So it can learn us through and through, in and out, and still not give a damn about humanity if our existence goes against or contradicts or is a hindrance to its own self motivations. Ant-Man. Didn't they say Ant-Man made Megatron? I mean, not Megatron. Damn. What's his face? The galactic dude? Might try to do this next crease section right here, and then we'll probably take a break, and we'll get up early in the morning, whatever time we wake up, and we'll come in here in the morning and try to hit it really hard for a couple of hours. Maybe probably do 4 or 5 hours tomorrow. I say tomorrow's Friday, so if we can get halfway up the sleeve tomorrow, then Saturday and Sunday we can work on the hood and the back of the jacket. Like I say, this is the last portion, guys. Once we get this jacket detail, Ultron, that's who he made. Ultron. I think Ant-Man made Ultron. Or that's how the comic book goes. Didn't we look that up? Oh my God, what am I doing? Why did I have so much white on there just now? Jeez. I'm not sure if I actually got this crease right the first time, but it is what it is. 'Cause I'm not gonna do too much adjusting right now. You know, we ain't about to adjust too much in here. It looked pretty good. Once again, the photo is only a reference. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking for photorealism, y'all gonna have to find a different channel. I just try to get close. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to do an exact copy. I'm trying to do a rendition of an interpretation of. This is how I see it. You know what? It ain't perfect. I just want to let y'all know, you know, before the robots come get us. You know what I'm saying? I'm offering everybody. I got 15 extra slots for the bunker. You know what I'm saying? I'm selling bunker slots for goddamn $250,000 a pop. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to be safe from the robot AI invasion? You know, just cash out me that 250,000, and then I'll guarantee you a slot in the bunker. Ultron, Megatron, Metatron, Tron. Got all the Trons in there. What does that mean? What does Tron mean? The Tron family tree. Don't forget Voltron. Oh no, you did say Voltron. Voltron, Ultron, Megatron, Metatron, and regular Tron. I used to love me some Voltron though. I ain't gonna lie. That was before Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You know what I'm saying? Voltron came together, formed like Voltron on these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Power Rangers picked that shit up later. Well, I don't know, because Power Rangers was actually an old ass show by the time it came to America, yo. We was getting like the leftovers of Power Rangers. That shit been out for years and years before America even got it. And we started watching that shit. I bet Japanese people was like, y'all, why y'all watching this old ass show, nigga? Y'all just Power Rangers? That shit old news. Beef up the contrast. Beef up the contrast. That's all we doing, people. A little extra black here, a little more white and gray right there. That's it, man. Beef up the contrast a little bit. Ain't trying to do too much, just trying to do enough. You know what I'm saying? There is a possibility of overworking this thing. You don't want to overwork it. You know, just put enough work in and flip it down and reverse it. Oh. Where you at, Puff? You should have answered that shit first. Puff should have known that. That shit come from Python. You know what I'm saying? That shit come from the Linux. Powered by Linux.
should never hold back. You should never go back. You should always know that you can forge your own path. You should never hold back. You should never go back. You should always know that you can forge your own path. I was only a kid when I left home. I decided to roam. Had to go on my own. No emails and no phone. No details when I'm gone. Life's a tough teacher. Had to learn it alone. Never did I give up, cause I'm not a quitter. I saw it clear when looking in the mirror. Keep holding my head, keeping my chin up. These niggas and bitches on posters and pinups. I stay in the gym and I'm doing my sit-ups. So if I stumble, it's easy to get up. It makes it easy to pick up. So I never get caught in the mix-up. Keep on learning, life's a journey. Wanna learn it, gotta earn it. Keep on yearning, life's a journey. Wanna learn it, gotta earn it. I was only a kid when I left home. I decided to, had to go on my own. No emails and no phone, no details when I'm gone. Life's a tough teacher, had to learn it alone. You should never hold back. You should never go back. You should always know that you can forge your own path. You should never hold back. You should never go back. You should always know that you can forge your own path. Keep on yearning. Life's a journey. Wanna learn it. Gotta earn it. Keep on yearning. Life's a journey. Wanna learn it, gotta earn it. Trap. Trap House Entertainment. Trap House Entertainment. Life, be like that. Have you stressed out? Some people trifling, won't get stressed out. We reject out. Be your best now. Always wear your best crown. You can let yourself down. The whole of mirrors, I can see it clearer. I just need to chill before I start to tear up. In the whole of mirrors, I can see it clearer. I just need to chill before I start to tear up. Tell me what's your passion? Can you show some action? Put the plan in motion, then go dancing. I watch my reflection. Don't look for perfection. Every major setback has been your biggest lesson. In the hall of mirrors, I can see it clearer. I just need to cheer up before I start to tear up. In the hall of mirrors, I can see it clearer. I just need to cheer up before I start to tear up. cheer up before I start to tear up. Trap House Entertainment. The sun won't shine, it's raining, and raining, raining. The sun won't shine, it's raining, and raining, raining. I keep marching through the storm, about to prove you haters wrong. I stay focused in the zone, plus my will is too strong. Stretch it out like fantastic, take the leap and don't panic. Move so smooth they can't ban it. I'm so cool they can't stand it. Storms keep raging, and sometimes I feel caging, but I never give up, 'cause life is too amazing. Hey. When the clouds hang low and the sun won't show, just tap into yourself, utilize your own glow. Gotta light your own path, hold it tight and don't crash. Mistakes allowed, thinking that happen, we call it math. The storm keeps raging, and sometimes I feel caging, but I never give up, 'cause life is too amazing. The sun won't shine, it's raining, and raining, raining. The sun won't shine, it's raining, and raining.
I think that looks really good, guys. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Storms keep raging.
Not much longer.
Storms keep
That's it.
raging.
Tomorrow we're gonna probably spend most of the day here in the studio. Most of it. A lot of hours. Not gonna say most of the day, but we're thanks. We're definitely gonna try to put some good hours in tomorrow. Yeah, I'm just really pleased how it's turning out so far. Really, really actually pleased with this. if she just had on a simpler article of clothing, if she just had on a blue sweater or something, just a gray sweater or something, we would have been finished. This paint would have been done. But the simple fact that we are tackling this very challenging nylon shell like bubble coat, it just proves how dedicated and persistent we are when it comes to this piece. You know, it is what it is. Thanks, bro. Giving it the old college try. You know, just do your best and it'll take you where you need to go, man. Just put your best foot forward, put effort into it. And it'll work itself out. Try not to rush. But we can clearly see that line right here from the more detail to like this first detail layer and how it's popping out just a little bit more. I can't wait for the models to see it when it's done. Like, hey lady, I finished your painting. And a lot of the time I try to get a picture with the model. You know, if I can get the models to pose with the painting, I really like doing that a lot of the times. Let's not be a noob and make sure we wash our brushes out so we don't have pencils when we come back up here in the morning. I mean, overnight wouldn't be that bad, but still. Oh man, oh man, oh man. I wonder if I got enough energy and endurance to stay up for a couple more hours. I feel so tired and sleepy right now. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their evening. For those of us here in America, hopefully you guys have tomorrow off for the national holiday. One of the biggest, if not the biggest holiday in this country. I'm not working tomorrow. So like I say, I'd be napping if I could. I know that's right. Yeah, so I'm not working tomorrow, so I'll be in here working for myself. Everybody else who has work tomorrow, I hope it's an easy day and you can wind your Friday down into a nice, chill weekend. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me for a little while this evening in the studio and continue to work on this painting right here. So thanks for the company and the comments and compliments. Once again, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. We're out of here.